welcome. And today I'm joined by Marko Perunovic, who is the Energy Minister for Montenegro. Marko, thanks for joining me today.
Mr. Ross, thanks a lot for your invitation for this very important conference, and thanks a lot for your hosting in this live chat.
You're very, very welcome. We're here to talk about COP26, and so I'm wondering, when you're watching and listening to the discussions that are taking place at COP and the outcomes that come out of them, do you feel, as in your role as Energy Minister for your country, that you are included in those discussions? Do you find those high-level discussions inclusive for all countries?
Yeah, we are looking for the very, very focused message from the COP26. We need to do something very quickly. Everybody needs to be included, and we all need to work like a community to achieve this very important green agenda, what we need to implement in the next, let's say, maximum 10 years. I mean, we're talking about next 10 years as a first step of transition, and then up to 2050, we need to do carbon-free Earth. So, like a part of Ministry of Capital Investments on behalf of government of Montenegro, we are strongly focused on it, and I'm pretty sure with the help of our European partners and international partners, we're going to be ready to achieve it very soon.
And the energy transition of your country, what does that look like? What's the energy mix at the moment? And where are you hoping to get to?
Okay, so I always say that Montenegro is a very small country in the heart of the Europe, and we are happy to have this energy mix so far. But our main problem is one coal plant in the northern part of the country, in Pljevlja. And it's making, let's say, 50% of our total electricity. So to be able to achieve goals or targets of green transition, we need to supplement this coal plant with renewables. I mean, it's not just a question of our energy system. To be able to stabilize our energy system, if we want to do a transition, we will need to change that with the renewables, and we all know that we need to go step by step. But what is also very important for all of us in Montenegro is the social picture of the northern part of the country, because let's say over 1,000 people working in a coal region, in a coal mine, what is connected with a coal plant. So to be able to start energy transition, we need to do something with the social picture first. So the most important for us is just transition and coal regions transition. So we're already talking with our international partners to give us support to do a good project of the following period, and that's supposed to be base of our energy transition. Then, but I can tell you a lot of things about our renewables potential. According to all studies, what we have a great potential for the solar, for the wind. Let's say we're talking about 16 to 1800 hours of solar per year, what is much better than the most of the Europe. And we're talking about working coefficient for the wind farms, comparing megawatt of installation with gigawatts of production, like a tree. So it's almost like a hydropower plant. So it's giving us a lot of potential, but to be able to realize that potential, we will need the good credit lines, and that's what we're starving for. We need a good, better communication with our international partners, and we need a more understanding from their own side if we want to achieve that quick.
Mm-hmm. I'll pick up that comment about starving for the credit lines in a minute, but just to go back to that, the social aspect of a just transition, which, you know, it really does underpin the energy transition. So, you know, what will that mean for those coal regions that are dependent on the coal industry, you know, socially across their communities? Is that a reskilling of the workforce?
Should be reskilling and should be opening new factories, new industries in the northern part of the country. We also have a good potential for the other type of industries, like for example, one of the projects we're developing for that transition is a cement factory in the same town. So if we're talking about 300 to 400 people to be employed in a new cement factory, we already talking about, let's say, 1/3 of the people employed in the wrapper chain. So if we develop wood industry, what is very based in that part of the country, we can talk about much more people employed. So we're talking about agriculture, about kind of spa tourism and village tourism in that part of the country. So we're just missing a good plan, quick reaction, and good credit lines with the help of our partners from European Union and European funds. So we are talking about 9 billion euros in European funds for the countries in the Western Balkan region. But to be able to do something quick and something in a good manner, we need a better communication and better accessibility to that funds. I mean, we are a small country and we're not talking about huge investments. But if you have a great potential for the renewables, for everything what we need to do according to green transition in the right manner, we're talking about possibility to pull the grants for these kind of projects, because we're talking about 20 to 30% grants for the projects of renewables, and it's not easy for us from the Western Balkan region to pull it in. So that can be a base for the very good investments in our part of the world. If we're talking about speed for providing investments, let's say I'm pretty sure that we're talking about a couple of years, let's say 3-4 years, compare with a 1 year to do the project, to build up everything. So there's something wrong in the communication, I'm pretty sure.
And that communication you talk about, who is it you're trying to communicate with? Is it the financiers, the investment community?
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about any kind of barrier in that, but I'm just talking about very slow process to provide that. If you want, for example, if you want to apply for the credit line all together with the project and things like that, you will need to pass all the steps you need to pass according to regulation in all these financial organizations. So most of the time it's taking a lot of time. Also, we're talking about some business barriers what we are creating, like government, because you need a lot of time for all the permits, all the special planning and things like that. So I'm pretty sure we can do much faster all these steps. Supposed to have a final step, like realization of the project, like the most difficult one, but in our case it's the easiest one. So that's what we need to improve in our talks, in our communication with our partners as well. Plus, what I need to add, what is very important. I mean, we are a very small country in the middle of Europe. We have one problem in the energy sector, because our coal plant is making, let's say, 80 to 90% of our CO2 emission. And if we are able to solve that problem quickly in the next, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever, and I'm in the same time, I'm pretty sure we can do that if we have support from the right addresses. we can be very nice picture, and we can be a great example for the green transition. So our European partners can always say, okay, point of these guys, they did everything how it's supposed to be done. And again, that can be a very, very good publicity for the green transition process itself.
Mm-hmm. And so the two dates that are always talked about is 2030, 2050. So, what's the hope? What does the future hold for your country, say, in 2050? What's the potential?
2050. I mean, pretty sure we can do decarbonization much earlier. I mean, even I would always say more about 2030. Again, we creating one big problem, and it's 50 to 60% of our production, and 80 to 90% of our CO2 emission. If we can phase out in the right time, we can be a great example for everybody. I mean, we talk about huge producers like Poland, Turkey, Ukraine, and things like that, with the numbers of coal plants and huge CO2 production, and they're facing a huge problem. But for us, with a good support, with a good communication, we can achieve it. We can achieve it easily.
Well, Marko, we wish you well on that journey, and it would be great to check in with you another time and see how that journey's going. But for now, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks a lot one more time.
Thank you.